In 1965, a 30-something investor took control of a dying textile mill just to fire the CEO over 12.5 cents. That company was Berkshire Hathaway. And Warren Buffett has repeatedly called buying that terrible business the absolute dumbest investment of his life. He estimates that petty, emotion-driven detour cost him roughly $200 billion in lost compound growth. But he still kept the name. Today, that mistake is a trillion-dollar conglomerate. So how did a numbers-obsessed paperboy from Omaha actually build history's greatest compounding machine? The blueprint started early. During the Great Depression, a young Warren delivered newspapers and realized small, repeated actions multiplied fast. But at 15, he found real leverage. He and a friend bought a broken pinball machine for $25. They stuck it in a local barber shop with a sign claiming it was owned by a mysterious Mr. Wilson. The barber got a cut of the profits. It was his first taste of a business that did the heavy lifting while he slept. Soon, they had a mini empire of machines printing passive income. His academic path involved a massive rejection. In 1950, Harvard Business School turned him down, saying he looked 16 and acted 9. He later called it the best thing that ever happened to him. It pushed him to Columbia University to study under a man named Benjamin Graham. Graham taught value investing. The core idea? If a business is truly worth $1, you wait for the market to panic and simply buy it for 50 cents. In 1956, Buffett started his own partnership with $105,000 from family and friends. His own cash in the pot? Just $100. By 1962, his concentrated bets had exploded that pool to over $7 million. But his first truly legendary swing came during a bizarre crisis. In 1963, the salad oil scandal hit. Lenders got scammed by a company using storage tanks filled with seawater, topped with just a thin layer of oil. American Express was exposed, and its stock crashed. While Wall Street panicked over infinite liability, Buffett quietly did his fieldwork. He checked local restaurants and saw customers were still using the green cards. The core trust was intact. He bet up to 40% of his partnership, and the stock doubled. But finding these beaten down, deeply flawed stocks, what Ben Graham called cigar butts with one free puff left, was getting harder and harder. The entire strategy needed a new fuel source. Enter the secret engine of the Berkshire Hathaway empire: insurance float. Think of float like renting an apartment, where you hold the security deposits. You have the cash right now, but you don't actually pay it back until later. Insurance companies collect premiums upfront and pay claims months or years later. That massive pool of waiting cash is the float. Starting in 1967 with National Indemnity and later fully acquiring Geico, Buffett bought his way into a river of cash he could invest for himself. If you price the policies well, you don't even pay interest on that money. It is effectively a massive, better-than-free loan. By 2024, Berkshire's float grew from a few million to roughly $170 billion. He used it to buy the world, but all that capital needed a better destination. The final tweak came from his vice chairman, Charlie Munger. Munger convinced him to stop buying mediocre businesses at bargain prices. It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price. The turning point was 1972. Berkshire paid $25 million for See's Candies, roughly 3 times its book value. For a strict bargain hunter, that felt horribly expensive. But Munger saw extreme brand loyalty. People didn't care if the price of a box went up a few bucks. See's eventually generated well over $2 billion in profit for Berkshire, requiring almost no new capital to keep growing. That was the new playbook. Find dominant brands with true pricing power, buy them, and hold them basically forever. In 1973, he bought into the Washington Post, recognizing a local media monopoly. That $10 million stake eventually grew over 100 times. Then came Coca-Cola in 1988. Following the 1987 crash and the New Coke disaster, Buffett quietly scooped up about $1.3 billion in stock. He saw a global machine that could raise prices by a single penny and make millions. Berkshire never sold a single share. Today, they collect hundreds of millions of dollars every year just in cash dividends from Coke alone. The asset pays for itself, but holding forever means you have to survive disasters. In 1991, a rogue trading scandal at Salomon Brothers nearly got the firm banned by the Treasury. Berkshire held a massive stake. Buffett stepped in as interim chairman, fired the leadership, and cooperated completely with regulators to save the bank. He famously told Congress, "Lose money for the firm, and I will be understanding. Lose a shred of reputation, and I will be ruthless." That absolute defense of his reputation made him the ultimate lender of last resort. When markets broke, CEOs called Omaha. During the 2008 financial crash, while everyone else hoarded cash in absolute panic, Buffett was greedy when others were fearful. He handed $5 billion to Goldman Sachs and $3 billion to GE, securing high-yield preferred stock deals the general public could never get. In 2011, he tossed another $5 billion lifeline to Bank of America. That single crisis bet eventually generated a $12 billion paper profit. For decades, critics said he was losing his touch because he avoided the internet boom. He openly admitted missing out on Google was a failure. But in 2016, at age 85, he finally bet on tech by buying Apple. You know how protective people are of their phones? He treated it exactly like a consumer brand with unmatched loyalty, just like C's Candies. Apple became Berkshire's largest holding, padding the portfolio with well over $100 billion in gains before he finally trimmed the position. He also used his platform to prove his philosophy to normal investors. He bet $1 million that a basic S&P 500 index fund would beat elite hedge funds. He won the 10-year wager easily, proving that high fees usually eat up complex strategies over time. The long-term math is staggering. From 1965 to 2024, Berkshire compounded at almost 20% a year. That is an overall gain of more than 5.5 million %. But that massive wealth also sparked debate. In 2011, Buffett wrote a famous op-ed pointing out his effective federal tax rate was just 17.4%. Because investment income is taxed differently, his rate was actually lower than the average rate paid by his own office staff. It sparked a massive political fight over the Buffett rule. Critics called it class warfare, but he simply used his own wallet to prove a structural flaw. Yet, despite a net worth hovering around $150 billion, his lifestyle barely changed. He still lives in the exact same Omaha house he bought back in 1958 for $31,500. In 2010, he helped launch the Giving Pledge. He's already given away over $58 billion, deciding to leave roughly 99% of his wealth to charity. Though recently, he paused scheduled gifts to the Gates Foundation amid an internal review, redirecting his remaining estate to be managed by his children. And after 60 years at the helm, the Oracle of Omaha finally arranged to step away. His legendary partner, Charlie Munger, passed away in 2023 at age 99. Marking the end of modern finance's greatest duo. On January 1st, 2026, Greg Abel officially took over as Berkshire Hathaway's CEO. Buffett handed off the baton, leaving behind an empire built not on wild gambles, but on a terrifying amount of patience. The greatest trick in finance isn't timing the market. It's finding a compounding machine and simply refusing to interrupt it. It takes a lifetime to build true wealth. So stay patient out there.